let's start this up. So I know I haven't been doing these videos for a little while. I've been stuck on D&D. Pretty interesting with D&D. Now I'm just gonna check if I speeded this up or not. Nope. And as you can see, I don't even need to. It was 14 minutes. I am just surprised how easy it was. Again, this character is pretty basic. But let's get into the video. Like if you actually like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into the video. Hello there. I am an assassin. One of the greatest assassins today. Because most are dead. I've found that I've joined a cult, which is pretty interesting, because of my target. My target is Cornelius Cornstalk. My goal? Kill Cornelius Cornstalk. And why, you may ask? Because he is my target. Upon this mission, I have found that demons have appeared in the world. No matter, that just means that Cornelius's death is more imminent, but also my employer's death. Having some mixed thoughts about killing him at this point, don't know if I should. At this point, I've now captured him, but let us return to the backflash, or flashback. Sorry, I'm an assassin, not a journal writer. Journalist? Oh well. Anyways, back in the past, I tracked him down, joined his cult. For some reason, though, it was a cult of assassins. An intriguing bunch, but I press on. Their death was imminent, but he still tried to get out of this alive. Sadly, his first mistake was letting people into his cult. It was an interesting one at that. One talking about this green flame, an interesting power of sorts. I haven't heard much about it. I'll talk to him about it later. But, seemingly, the assassin's flame, a sort of power of dark will, mostly based on how green is the color of darkness. Also, how it's the color of trees and camouflage. My armor is donned with camouflage now, but yes, as an assassin, I do wear armor. Best for protecting oneself. But I've gained adverse effects from this green fire. For example, I'm now 8 foot tall. Comparably to any other human, I am a giant. While being 8 foot tall may not seem that bad, it does come with some perks and some weaknesses. One of those weaknesses being I'm easier to spot in the open. Who would have noticed being taller is bad for assassination attempts? While being a plant-like person, I do have my weapons set for killing. Something I do have to say, I wanted it to be a katana, but I noticed 2 problems when I made it. First, it's facing the wrong direction. I noticed it's supposed to face the other one. Secondly, it doesn't have that turn that katanas are supposed to have. You can't really implement that without making it really noticeable. And I didn't want it to be a noticeable curve, because most katanas, while having a curve, it isn't truly noticeable. in comparison to the curve of some other weaponry. But I press on. Well, I've learned one other thing about these group. They're really bad at their jobs. I kind of feel sorry for them. But they're all in the grave now. It won't matter if I slice a few heads. Besides, I only have one target here. But back to the story. And Cornelius, while a gentle fellow, I still wonder why he has a target on his head. I am unsure who my employer is, but for some reason they want him out of the picture. They honor me for gaining this green flame power. For some reason I am quite fine with joining them. One problem though, you know how I talked about at the start, demons? Well, yeah, they've come now to end my life and the life of my target. While that can sound nice, since I want my target dead, it can also be bad, as they will tear him to shreds and leave no trace, being that I can't tell my employer that I've killed him myself. So, I have kept him alive for now, seemingly also gaining the green flame's power, an activation of a power of my own, called an ability, the dragon. For some reason, I've gained the power of a dragon-like aura, but not your normal Japanese dragon. No, one of those other dragons. The sea tyrant dragon, to be more correct. Tyrants of the ocean, they have the power and tendency to destroy ships. I think this is from the Viking era, though I am unsure, as Vikings are long dead at this point, while people of their lineage still live. There's not much I can talk to, since a lot of people are dead. Time to talk about some of the demons I've killed. Arvin, very interesting, he can shapeshift. I've called them shapeshifters. An interesting fact about shapeshifting, it takes energy to do so, meaning that keeping one's shape also takes energy. While they are basically immortal while taking the shape of a different creature, that immortality only lasts them so long. Slicing them up is the best way to do so, as their body can't truly regenerate, but recuperate. So, while I can't burn part of their body away to kill them, I can make them use up their energy, and in doing so, cutting off their limbs is a great way to do it. On the other hand, I also have the way of tearing their head off, being so that they can't really move. They still have to follow the laws of the human body. Cutting away their nervous system will take time for them to regenerate, more time than they have. Destroying their body and ripping it to shreds is an easy way to take away an opponent like such one. But on the other hand, I'd rather have an opponent who'd last long, like the Armored. While being an assassin, you'd normally use a gun. I'd rather return to using blades, as they make less sound in the grand scheme of things. Just one simple slash of the head, an easy assassin trick. While using a silencer is possible, the sound can still be heard. Being so, I've used blades as my main weapon. Something else I just want to note, this blade is short for katana. I could just call it a short sword, which actually would still work, but yeah. Also, this character won't play too big of a part in the main story, but he'll play a part, as well as being part of a group. Sorry about being bad at this. I'm gonna just, it's to lengthen this, okay? Don't patronize me. Anyways, back into the story. I hear that these shapeshifters, while being a great enemy to those who use bullets, aren't too harsh of an enemy for those who use blades. Being so, these armored demons are such as well. They're basically armored up with base armor, but in doing so, they lose mobility. Or that's what I would say if their joints weren't such a grand weak spot. While being able to hyper-regenerate a great feat, it still has to follow certain laws of physics. While it can be broken by an ability, can't be broken by hyper-regeneration. So, in doing such, they can only regenerate so much before their bodies don't have any mass to collect from. Unless that hyper-regeneration had a source based on an ability. Which, of course, they do. Being such, cutting off their head is still a way to defeat them. Striking through the eye is a better way. Snipers have an easier time with this. Luckily, I have been able to snipe now that I have gained the green flame. I'm just going to talk about a few noticeable effects of it, and yeah. First off, I should actually tell my name, which is... that's a secret. Because assassins never tell their name. Anyways, as an assassin myself, these abilities are pretty interesting. First, the green flame ability. Allows one such to gain the powers of the green flame, gives them the power to attach the green flame to certain material. You are immune to fire. You've gained heightened vision, heightened growth, and lesser hyper-regeneration, which takes from the source of your own body. In comparison, you also gain hidden factors. As such, you can cloak your body. In such, your mass is unable to be present. If one has higher energy than yours, this cloaking will not work on them. For some reason, this energy source is the main source of most power. Seemingly, it takes energy to use all of these effects. In such problem where my body will be completely destroyed, I can grant another the green flame's power by hyper-destructive explosives, that being self-destructing your own body. On the other hand, my actual ability, form shift, as I would call it, allows oneself to change their form into a different one. Various effects as such, this effect bonus has now been changed by the green flame ability. Seemingly, my ability has evolved or ascended due to the ability of another. In such, now my new form will take the shape of green fire. Another interesting fact about having green flame, I now have the power to easily kill my opponent. On top of this, I've learned multiple people have ascended in such powers, but some have not. Either their actual abilities are near useless, or they haven't seen into the pits of hell. In such, most die quickly. After having gathered my opponents, I've looked around. While notably I'm in a forest, I've seen cities turned into multiple small safe houses. While these safe houses look ruined on the outside, they are very much active on the inside. I'm guessing they're the base of operations for many people. I'm guessing they don't have many fighters among them, but even such, I do feel that they are doing mighty fine, if for having barely any combat people. While they do have multiple guns, that's just in the Americas. In multiple other countries, while having many guns, they don't have enough. Now there is one thing very, very intriguing that I must talk about. Beings calling themselves Dark Angels have ravaged our lands, but not to kill people, to kill these beasts. Most, notably, have certain effects. Teleportation as one. A noticeable one has the power to control people. But noticing that this isn't exactly an ability, as such, I've not gone to great length to understand their power. But what I do understand is it is very dangerous for someone like myself or those like others. I've kept away from the field of combat, but I do feel that we are going into a true apocalypse. Anything else I should talk about? Great. This isn't even in the team arc anymore. What do you desire? A mutual bond of sorts. I want your help, and you need mine. Well, I would need your help. What would you gain from this deal? An ally. Final question for you. Who are those others? Well, just some friends. Friends. Well, if they're your friends, then I have one last question for you. Wasn't that your last question? Of course not. People have many questions to ask when someone of great power comes near them. Well, I think it's just the mutual response to work with others of such great power as yourself. Don't test me, and don't test us. Intriguing. Seemingly, you aren't human, yet you take the form of one. Well, I'm not a human myself. I do have human-like attributes. You don't feel human either. You feel like one of my kind. Ah, well that's where you're mistaken. And we don't have a different voice actor, do we? No, we do not. Well, do we have an agreement? Fine. An agreement for now. Here's the image. Take it in as such. Yeah, like the fourth wall breaking? Shoot. Bye.